Different blockchains have different solutions that they provide. So Algorand provides a solution. Solution is this: there are people who want to have a permission blockchain, and there are people who also want to have a permissionless blockchain. What it means is that permissionless is a public blockchain, a blockchain where everybody can come on and maybe build applications on it or do some other things on the blockchain and produce some sort of results or become productive in a certain way. Then there are permission blockchains. It's like blockchain tailored to a certain group of people. Let me use network to explain it. So you have networks, let's say data network in a city that everybody can log into and get data. And then you have local area network for probably just homes. So the only people who have access to that network are people in their homes. That's the difference between permission and permissionless blockchain. They're also called private and public blockchain. So the Algorand blockchain helps provide services like to companies who want to have their own blockchain network. So they want a private blockchain, they can have that through Algorand. And then if you want a public blockchain, you can have that also through Algorand. Now there's something called ASA layer 1 contracts on Algorand. They are basically called smart contracts. Smart contracts are little programmable lines of codings saying that, okay, if somebody does this, then you can do this. For example, if we want to do a transaction, maybe I want to send you some algos, or I want to buy this house now through a smart contract. So let's say this house is already on the Algorand blockchain. It is represented on the Algorand blockchain. And then this house is, let's say, 1.2 million algos. And then there's a smart contract that says, if this 1.2 million algos leave this person's wallet, just hypothetical an example, if this 1.2 million algos leave this wallet to this other person's wallet, then you can automatically transfer the ownership of the asset to the person who sends the wallet. Now, it doesn't need me and you to be there. It needs to be borderless, meaning that if I'm in Nigeria, I can do something outside Nigeria. I can transact with somebody outside Nigeria. We don't have to be in the same physical location, and it doesn't have to be expensive. And that's why Algorand, when you go on Algorand, it's a borderless, it fronts borderless economy. So it means that from anywhere in the world you can actually carry out a transaction, and it doesn't have to be expensive and it doesn't have to be slow. That part is called scalability in blockchain. When a blockchain is scalable, it means that it can process a lot of transactions quickly, and it can also take on upon more projects and more applications, more development on it without slowing down the entire network. So that's what happens there. So this is a new technology, blockchain, and then as like every technology, it keeps getting improvements on them. So what you can do is buy into the improvement of a certain blockchain technology. Now what I'm talking about Algorand is this: Algorand has something. I talked to you before about mining in cryptocurrency. Now mining is quite outdated. What's new now? The development of mining is called staking. Staking is where it's like, say you have like what you do in the banks. You have 1 million naira in the bank, and then the bank pays you a certain interest. Let's say 0.5, this is 0.8% interest on your 1 million naira annually. That's what you're saving the money in the bank. Now with block staking on blockchain is having this 1 million naira in algos. So let's say 1 million algos is what you have, and with this 1 million algos, you are going to say, okay, from this 1 million algos, stake 50%. It means that this 50%, you're not going to touch them. It's on that platform, it's your own. You're not giving it to someone else. There's no intermediary. It's just you. The asset is yours, you control it. So you stake 50% and earn an interest on this 50% annually. And Algorand's interest is more than 5% per annum. It's way more than that. So this is one thing you can do if you want to invest in the Algorand blockchain. Another thing you can do also is what we call long-term trading. in cryptocurrency. You look at a blockchain that's coming up, look at the solutions that they provide, and see that okay, yes, these
What do you mean
guys.
by solutions they provide?
Blockchains provide solutions.
What blockchains?
Okay, okay, that's the deal. A block. How do I explain this? Say for instance, we are in a certain room. You know, you have computers around, and one computer has a data. It has information. You get the another computer doesn't have the same information that this computer has. Now, this computer might have an information about transactions. Say, okay, Karla gave Mr. Donald 1,000 albums. That transaction is recorded here. But since it's digital, doesn't that make it such that you can also go and change the information there and say it wasn't 1,000 albums, it was 500 albums? Now, that transaction is there, but it can be altered. Again, it is not safe. So what blockchain does is it takes this transaction. So the transaction that we've done is recorded here and also recorded on all the other computers that are connected to the network that this one is connected to. So if you want to go and change the information on this computer, this one will have to report to the other computer and say, this information is about to change. Okay, there's been a change now. It wasn't a new transaction, but you're trying to change the information on that transaction. Because it is not the same with the ones that are on the other computers, it will not accept it. And that's why we say blockchain is you can't hack it. Because if you want to hack it to change the information, you have to hack all the computers that are on it. Now, that solution doesn't only just work for transactions. It can work for agreements, for contracts. Then, if you go on the Algorand site, you find that there are different use cases. Use cases meaning that there are different things that blockchain is doing for other companies or other projects and offering other solutions. Bitcoin offers just one solution, peer-to-peer transactions. But other blockchains have come and offered more different solutions other than peer-to-peer transactions, and Algorand is one of them. So you look at the solution that a blockchain is providing and see, okay, will this be relevant to the future? Yes, it will be relevant to the future. And then you can determine, okay, now Algorand started like 2 years ago, and right now they are one of their currency is $0.22. So if I were to invest, I'm looking at Nigerian economy and all, for long-term investment, what I can do is, let's say, buy maybe 1,000 of that albums or 1,000,000 of it. So you can buy those and just keep it, save it. It is yours. No bank there's no intermediary. The asset is your own. And note that the future of assets are digital. So assets that are coming up these days, they are mostly digital. And that's basically the future. So it's better you start having those now, so that come tomorrow when Algorand is say.
Do you have some algos?
Yes, I do. One algo is $0.22. Right, this is one algo. Now, if we go to, let's say, by next year, it is $1. That's one algo, and you have 10,000 of this. It means whatever, let's do some calculations. 10,000 times 0.22. When one algo becomes $1, it becomes $22,000. That's where the profit is in, as per for
long term.
Yes, long term. So it beats the inflation. That's what you'll be doing. You'll be beating the inflation in the Nigerian economy and doing this by hold. And besides, the wallet is your own. It's yours. Nobody can hack it and collect your assets are safe.
This is an example of crypto, right?
Yes, this is a cryptocurrency.
Now,
I told you.
What happens if somebody dies?
Okay, what you can, if someone dies, say you have a will, the wallet has something called the private key. You can save the private key of this wallet. The private key helps such that if you lose your device, when you download the Algorand wallet again, after downloading it, you just put in the private key. As you put in the private key, the assets that were in that wallet will come back up. So you have access. Algorand wallet has keyword phrases.
So anybody can operate the
It's anybody who has this keyword phrase can get to the wallet. So you have, I think there are 24 in a particular order. So for every Algorand wallet that you have, you can save the keyword phrase. Say you want to start buying algos now for your children, so that when they get to a certain age, they can get those assets. What you can do is, this keyword phrase, you save them, put them in a document and save them in your will with your lawyer. So you can add this there in your will. The 24 keyword phrase, you put them in the order that they are in. So as they come in that order, you put them in the document. When it's time for your son or your daughter to get the wallets and access the assets, all they need to do is put in the keyword phrase in order as they came in, and they would have access to the wallets and all the algos that are in it. You can also write a smart contract on that, but that one is a talk for another day. So this is just basics of how you can use the Algorand blockchain